came back, I think.
Yeah, the wind was just horrendous out there on the plains, but I guess that's why they've got a big wind farm out there to catch those breezes. But Silverton was great, but again, I felt like a day or two out there was probably enough. We just spent the one night, but I just felt it was a bit theme showy.
Yeah, you spent the afternoon going around the town and you'd seen it all.
Yeah. And then, so we're up to day 4. We went from Silverton to Menindee via Broken Hill.
Yeah.
Broken Hill.
We were doing some shopping on Broken Hill, I think.
Stopped to do some shopping and try to buy some drone parts when we had a huge family tantrum. It was cold, but the day itself was maybe about 20 degrees, and Ali decided she needed a huge duffel coat on or she wasn't going to get out the bus. And it was the stupidest family argument, and it kind of ended up with she wouldn't get out of the duffel coat and then she wouldn't get out of the bus. So she was forcibly removed from the bus.
That's right. That's what you said. Drag her out and sit her at the front of the bus.
So Tom's picked her up, ceremoniously dumped her on the grass beside the gutter in Broken Hill Centre, one huffy teenager, and then we've locked the door on the bus and said, well, we're going to do our day and you can sit out here and sulk if you like. And it was one hell of an argument, and it's quite funny to look back on now, but we were both all so angry and upset at the time. It was just the stupidest thing. We also had the fueling debacle in Broken Hill. We had trouble finding a servo with a high roof to get the bus in, and we found one eventually, and we just snuck under.
I think we were trying to find cheap fuel.
It might have been cheap fuel. We snuck under a very low awning.
Yeah, and I turned around and came back, and I came on the wrong side.
Yeah.
And then all the aerials, we got under. It was just all the aerials hitting on the tin roof, which made it sound a lot worse than what it was.
And the owner and attendant at the servo gave me a bit of a lecture about the ruthlessness of driving a big bus into his driveway. But he was rather mollified when we put a couple of $100 worth of fuel in. I think that placated him a little. And then from there we head out to Menindee Lakes, and we drove through a dust storm, didn't we, on the way from Broken Hill out to Menindee. It was foul weather by the time we got to Menindee. And I have history there. Ali and I went to Menindee in 2012, and we just rolled in with my parents, just doing a random road trip through the area. And we'd stayed at Lake Panamaru, and I'd had the best sunset that I'd probably ever seen in my life. And I still put, after everything we've seen, I still put Menindee in my top 3 sunset spots in Australia. So I was so keen to go back to Menindee. Better camera, better knowledge, better skills. I was going to be prepared. I was going to catch the best sunset image in my life, and it just didn't quite work out that way, did it?
No.
No, we had awful weather. It was overcast and grey.
Yeah. Well, we would we go initially, and we tried to stay at a caravan park.
At Menindee Lakes.
Yeah.
At Menindee Lake, Menindee Lake.
And then you couldn't find a phone number or anything.
It was like abandoned ghost town, so I don't know what was happening there.
And it was just full of permanents, and you couldn't find anything. And then we went to another caravan park.
At Kopi Hollow, and they couldn't fit us in.
Yeah.
And we're starting to get a little bit desperate, and there's not a lot of options in Menindee, so we ended up free camping out at the Birken Wills. I think it was Birken Wills free camp.
It's right on the Wee.
Yeah, at Lake Panamaru, and that was our first night off grid. So we finally found somewhere. We're facing vaguely west, but we couldn't really see the water from the bus. I'd gone down to photograph the sunset, and I got nothing but dismal grey.
Yeah, it was blowing a gale.
The sand was whipping up.
We were planning to camp on the side of the lake.
Yeah,
we couldn't camp, and we ended up going over near the weir and ducking underneath to get out of the wind.
Hid behind like the dam wall kind of thing to shelter from the wind. Anyway, so I've gone out, taken my photos. I'm disappointed. 12 years in the making. I'm so disappointed with the photos. Nature hasn't turned on the sunset that it had 12 years ago, and I've stomped back to the bus, and I'm sitting in the bus sulking a little bit, and I happened to look out the window. Thank God for that big back window we decided to leave in, and I've just seen this amazing purple colours coming off the sky, and I've grabbed my camera. I've said some swear words. I've got my left shoe on my right foot, and I'm belting down the dam bank. And I ended up getting 4 or 5 beautiful coloured photos before the sun disappeared. But so Menindi's still top 3 sunsets in Australia, right up there with Berrubi Beach at Anna Bay and Karumba in the Gulf. But haven't been west yet, so that might change when we get west.
Yeah. And that's I reckon that camp area was a pretty popular spot at Menindee there. Like there was just caravans all the way along.
Yeah. Another cool spot, like Big Night Skies, Red Desert. If you're into that sort of space, I love Menindee. Menindee's my happy place. But yeah, first night off grid, everything functioned as it should. We didn't have any problems. Ali and Tom got the push bikes out, I remember, and rode up the dam a little bit. Yeah, and then we went from Menindee out to Kinchiga.
National Park, yeah, stayed near the woolshed.
Yeah, at Emu Lakes Campground near Kinchiga Woolshed. Again, somewhere Ali and I'd been to before, but first time for Tom. And the old woolshed there's great. Lots of history around there.
The National Park had just started spending a lot of money there too. They've started doing up the showers, and then there was like shearing quarters you could stay in, and it was you actually had to go back across the river to get to the showers. But once you got across there, they were pretty good. Like they were doing a really good thing.
Brand new amenities and things. It was nice to see some money being spent in there. I think it was like $7 each a night or something to stay there. So super cheap, camping. And when it's going into new amenities and things like that, you really don't mind spending that kind of, money to see all the facilities upgraded. And I just remember in Kinchiga, the best sunsets, western red kangaroos, all the mulga scrub. It's just beautiful out there. And we were sitting around the campfire. We've got a little fire going. The stars are amazing. We've got a little glass of Shiraz, and sitting back and thinking, this is the life for us. This is the life. And I remember Ali was saying that everything was a little bit off balance because I was so chirpy in the morning.